Did you start your video? Perfect. Stand up nice and tall, take a good deep breath, and start when you feel ready.
How many of you guys use glass to day-to-day life? Hello, my name is Karina. I'm about to tell you how my career choice of being a neurologist is related to forming a glass. In the next couple of minutes, I will be talking about how my passion is related to the sand, to melting of the sand and the glass itself. At one point, you felt brave or terrified of just at any point in your life, you just felt brave or terrified. That's just like glass. Glass can either be really strong or really weak, depending on how you grew up. So first, I'll be talking about the sand. Sand is the original form before it's made into glass. And so I grew up with my family, my friends, and the environment around me. And so this is my parents. My parents are who I look up to, my morals, and what my fundamentals of my life is. And my friends is what broadens my perspective of my morals as well. And it gives me like a different point of view away from my parents. And that's what makes me different compared to my siblings. Because our siblings both had the same fundamentals, but what makes us different is our friends and the environment. I grew up in an environment where mental health does not exist. Mental health is basically dramatic. And so it's just a passed down mindset that I grew up with. And so when I moved away from my family, I learned that no, mental health is important and needs to be valued. So next part is melting the sand. Melting the sand is a bridge of like the old mindset of my parents have and the new mindset that I'm learning. And so first I'll be talking about like the heat and the fires needed to melt it. And so the fire is basically my rebellion and saying that I don't want to follow what my parents follow. And so I'm going to do that by choosing my career as a neurologist. And so from sand to be turning clear to be glass is basically a transition from the gaslighting of my parents. And it's basically a beginning of the change of the mindset of mental health as a whole. And so whenever the substance turns clear, and so you would obviously need to cut it off so you could start molding it, just like the scissors they would probably use. My official cut is the toxic mindset. And I think educating myself with mental health is important so I can learn from it and I can teach others. Next, after you cut off the clear substance, now we have the glass as a whole. And so the glass is symbolized of a new mindset that I learned away from my parents that was passed on from generation. And I believe that this new mindset will also be beneficial for me and the future households that are who are not exposed to that mental health. And then, so once you have that clear substance, you want to mold it, and you get to choose how you want to mold it and how you want to basically. In conclusion, it should be clear that my life is very similar to the formation of glass. And over the few minutes, I will tell you how my life is very similar to a glass. First, how the sand is the original state and form, just like my parents were the original form of my life. Next, I'll be talking about the melting of the glass, and which is a bridge of the new mindset from the old. And lastly, the glass itself is the brand fresh new mindset. I never got the resources that I grew up like other kids, and I hope that I will be able to get the resources and let others get the resources and let other people also have the resources that I have and grow up with the acknowledgement that mental health is important. Thank you for listening.